Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Star Agent Starco Gaming here, back with another Marvel Future Fight video. Guys, we are back with the early access for update V570, and it's finally time to take a first look at Tier 3 Crescent. Is she as shitty as other content creator been claiming for the past few days under early access, or we're just not testing her properly? So we're gonna try to answer that question in this video. And unlike other content creator guys, I'm actually gonna test her on a female Combat Alliance Battle Extreme, so we actually see her real value in there and not a non-reliable testing that was done by pretty much everybody else on a no restriction day, where she does not really do good against the barrier. The barrier really takes about, I'll say, at least 25 to 30% of her score away. So we're gonna be doing a much better testing. But before we get started, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to enable the bell next to the subscribe button to get notified when I post a new video. Go live with the live stream. We stream every Friday and Saturday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we do have crystal giveaway in every single stream, so definitely worth stopping by. And guys, if you want to play Marvel Future Fight on PC, make sure to check the description down below and click on the link next to play Marvel Future Fight on PC. So the first thing we're going to do here, guys, is take a quick look at the build. Once we're done with the build, we're gonna go with Alliance Battle Extreme, because a lot of people, that's what they are stopping for. And after that, we're gonna jump in World Boss Ultimate and give her a little bit of testing without strikers, and then testing with strikers. So let's start with the build. You can see the build is far from optimal. Critical rate is fine because she gets critical rate from her 5th skill, if I'm not mistaken, so this is perfect there. But we're missing 29% critical damage, and if we did have you know, a good bonus option on from Alliance level, we could actually have a lot more physical attack, because we will not have to use cards that give us 47% cooldown duration to max out cooldown as much as possible. So that will be a huge difference, to be honest, guys. So also we have no Odin Blessing, a bunch of 5-star hero that we're gonna check in a minute, so there's a huge difference there. So we have max cooldown, maxing our defense. Like I said, 171% critical damage, 50% critical rate, cap on dodge rate, 128% attack speed, and 54,363 physical attack here. That's with our own leadership, which we're not actually going to use in Alliance Battle Extreme, because the She-Hulk leadership gives a little bit more damage, but that's the stats with her own leadership. You can see she has a lot of HP too, which is going to be awesome. Maybe she's going to be useful in PvP. We never know. We still got to see live to do that testing. Now if we look at the Euro, you can see here physical attack Euro, critical damage Euro, and dodge Euro. That's pretty much what we're going to put on her. If we look at the uniform option, obviously the uniform is mythical, but you can see we have to use critical damage on the last bonus uniform here, so we lose a lot of attack. We lose about 600 physical attack, which it's quite a lot. We have dodge here, we do have physical attack here, we have dodge here again, and we have ignore defense here. So it's not that bad, but it could be a lot better, obviously. If we look at the custom gear, the CTPF rate we got here, we get critical rate 21.3%, dodge rate 20%, and then we have the max down CTPF rate 0.9% damage per 1% dodge rate and critical rate, and ignore boss damage decreases by 60%. And if we look at the ESOs, that's another part where early access really sucks, is that we cannot fully awaken an ESO set, which really sucks, guys, because that does not give us the opportunity to do real testing. So the stats we actually get here are all attack, all defense, critical rate 8.5%, attack speed 7.7%, ignore defense 8.1%, activation rate 12% chance when attacking, plus 25% increase of all attack for 20 seconds, with a cooldown time of 58 seconds. Obviously, if we had that fully awakened, we get a 40% increased damage and a lot more stats from those Euro here and those Euro, which is a lot of attacks, probably 1,000 extra attack here. So probably at least 1.5 thousand attack just from the uniform and the ESO set fully awakened. So that is a huge difference in addition to the max critical rate. So that's close to the double the damage we're actually going to be able to do in Alliance Battle Extreme. If we take a look at the tier 3 skill here, we have decreased all defense, stack up to 50%, ignore immunity, which is actually pretty nice against World Boss Ultimate. Apply to self, 50% ignore defense, which is kind of waste because you won't use this skill every 10 seconds, so you still got a cap or ignore defense. Sadly, you get penetration with the barrier, shield, all damage immune, invincible effect for 8 seconds with that skill. Again, you cannot keep that skill up, so it's not reliable against the no restriction day. Increase damage by 100% for one attack, 100% increase of charge rate to accumulated true damage. So you get to accumulate true damage from your second skill, and then you proc with your 5th skill after you use the tier 3, and you will get a lot of damage from that 5th skill. That's going to be your best 5th skill of the round pretty much, which is pretty awesome. So it's a very solid tier 3 ability, to be honest. It does quite a lot of damage against World Boss Ultimate. It does quite a good amount of damage against Alliance Battle Extreme. So she is pretty decent in my opinion. Yeah, she's not going to be, you know, a top meta like Namer, for example, which is, you know, out you know, blow our mind up, but she's still going to be a pretty solid tier 2 in my opinion. She's going to be better than Minerva for Alliance Battle Extreme, definitely. Especially if you drop a bunch of Odin Blessing on her, she's going to be pretty amazing in my opinion. And the rotation for her is actually pretty simple. You're going to do 3, cancel right away into 2 to get your accumulated damage, cancel right away into 5. You're gonna have your proc that is with the CTP of Rage or CTP of Energy. You want to get the proc on that 5th skill when you're not running the tier 3. Then you're gonna, once the 5th skill is over, you're gonna do 1, cancel into 4. You're gonna let the 4th skill run until your rotation is ready to be started over pretty much. And when your tier 3 is ready, you're going to replace the 5th skill in the rotation with that tier 3 and you just repeat that rotation over and over. You're going to see in Alliance Battle Extreme how I do it pretty much. So the first thing we're going to do here is jump in Alliance Battle Extreme, show the best team for Alliance Battle Extreme 2 at the same moment for female combat now with Crescent. And obviously the accumulated damage only lasts 4 seconds on their 2nd skill. Obviously, if they did increase that amount, that will turn her into a meta. But even without increasing it, if you do your 3, cancel 2, cancel a 5th, you still get 3 seconds of accumulated damage during that 5th skill, which is, in my opinion, strong enough. But a lot of people like to disagree with me on that in the Star Agent programs, which is totally fine. Everybody has the right to their own opinion. So let's jump here. We're going to have She-Hulk lead because it's 60% increased damage dealt to male type characters, which is more damage than a 60% physical attack leadership pretty much. So it gives us a little bit more damage by using that. And then we want to use Crescent obviously because she's a damage dealer, and Valkyrie for her 45% increased damage to super villain type character. And we do have a CTP of Insight on this little girl too. So we're gonna jump in there, we're gonna show the rotation. It's kind of hard to get the proc going, to be honest. I've been having a lot of issue. I've been scoring over 2 million, which if you compare from early access to live, you have to about double the score. That's pretty much a comparison we're gonna have. Like for example, Cyclops, when we did early access testing, we're getting about 900,000 points, and when we got to live, people were doing 2 million easy. Apocalypse was doing about between 1.5 2 million, and when we got to live, he was doing between 4 and 5 million. So that gives you a little bit of the comparison you got to do when you see the score under early access. So obviously, we're not going to see 3.5 million here, but we're going to see an easy 2 million score, which is going to be the equivalent of between 3.5 and 5 million on the live server, in my opinion, unless I am totally mistaken. If I am, when I do Alliance Battle Extreme guide for this girl on the live server, I will definitely apologize for misleading people if I am wrong, because I'm always there to apologize if I'm wrong, guys. No worry about that. So let's get started here. So we're going to go Here you can see the rotation I'm using. We got the proc really early, so that was nice. Then we do that here. We wait for the next rotation to be ready pretty much, and boom. And you can see the proc, it can actually be slow to actually happen sometimes, which definitely sucks. Then we go with the tier 3 skill. You can see the tier 3 skill actually have quite a good amount of damage, and that with not very good stats, so it's actually pretty good. Here I kind of scrubbed the next rotation, so we're not getting the accumulated damage from it. My bad on this one, guys. So you can see here, the proc sometimes can be like 10 seconds without happening, so it totally sucks. Scrub the rotation again, and we're still doing pretty decent run, obviously. So here we go. We just repeat that rotation over and over pretty much. And we just hope that the proc is gonna be sync as much as possible. That's all we gotta worry about pretty much. And a lot of time the tier 3 skill will not give me the proc, so I just gotta deal with it pretty much. That's pretty much what I gotta do. This is a worse run than I ran earlier, to be honest, so it sucks. That's like we're up to about 20 seconds without the a proc on the rage, so that was actually a pretty terrible run here. But as you can see, even when having a very, very terrible run with the proc, we're still pretty good. We're still doing pretty good. Here I clip my rotation a little bit too early, so the proc is a little bit shy, which is fine. You know, we're gonna need a lot of timing, a lot of practice to get that timing to actually get, you know, a very good score, but we can still see how she actually play, even without having a perfect run, obviously. Next rotation is going to be with the tier 3. Whoops, I screwed up. There we go. I skipped that fourth skill this time just because I needed to get going with my tier 3, which is totally fine, obviously. But yeah, that is a terrible run, man. I'm sorry, guys. This is a terrible run. We're still gonna get a pretty good score, though. You know, we still should be close to get the 2 million score. If we're not up there, it's gonna be very, very close. So it is pretty solid. We're gonna do another run. We're gonna try to get a better run with the proc, to be honest, because with a proc, when we get a better proc on the 5th skill and better proc on the tier 3 skill, we do get a lot higher score. I think that with a perfect run on the early access, I could probably push up to 2.5 million if I can get those procs sync properly. It's just hard to trigger that proc, to be honest, to go with the 5th skill after you use that 2nd skill. I don't know if that's something they could actually make a little bit better, but that's definitely something that will be nice to have. There we go. That was a much better proc here on that tier 3 skill, and you can see we're already doing a lot better than the previous run. Now another 5th skill that does not give us a proc pretty much, which kind of suck. But then we got a good one on the tier 3, so that makes up for it a little bit. But yes, that 5th skill is terrible to trigger the proc, man. The more we do it, the more we can actually see it. It really sucks for that. It really does. And that tier 3 skill, until that you have a big tornadoes going, a lot of time will not actually trigger the proc, which is really hurt your damage too. I don't think that's going to be a better run. I think that when I was not recording, I was just having better luck. That's usually the part about recording that happen. is that you get better ones when you're actually not recording. You're testing the content, and when you're actually recording, you get a shit around pretty much, which totally sucks. We are running terrible. Like when I was recording earlier, I was at after the 90-second mark, I was around 1.1 million after the first 90 seconds. So that is the difference between having a good and a bad run pretty much. Another rotation with a very late proc. It's literally killing the score here. And there's nothing you can do about that. I think with the CTP of energy, she might actually do better because of that. Because the CTP of energy proc is just easier to trigger. I think that's going to be very, very awesome for that. So we're gonna have to do the comparison with CTP of energy when we go with the live update, obviously, because I'm out of crystal. This one, you can see another goddamn rotation without the goddamn proc. It's terrible. You can see the difference when you get a very, very shitty run like we're having right now. We're barely gonna get any decent score here. So it really sucks to try to do testing here and have that kind of run, to be honest. But you gotta bless the RNG god, right? Anyway, the best run I got so far with this girl, guys, was a little bit over 2 million. And that was a run that I missed about 15 proc. About 15 proc. So if you add those 15 proc being sync on that 5th skill and that tier 3 skill, that's about 500,000. So that will give me about 2.5 million on our early access server with a shitty build and you know, trash stats. So I think that's actually pretty solid. That's better than most people actually achieve with Minerva already, and that's from stats with the early access build. So definitely she's going to be able to do the 3.5 million on a live server with a pretty decent build, in my opinion. Next, we're going to jump in Wall Boss Ultimate. We're going to go against Proxima. We're going to give her the full setup because this video already been long enough. So we're gonna give her the guaranteed critical rate, which should help her a lot here, and we're gonna give her the full striker setup and see how fast she can actually clear stage 47 with a rate level under 300, which is pretty much the equivalent as a stage, I'll say around 65 or maybe 70. That's pretty much the equivalent of what we'll be doing with the max rate level with her right now. You know, the speed we will be clearing it pretty much. So let's go here. There we go. We got the proc. You can see she's literally killing it, like really easy here. And there we go. So that gives us a clear in the 21 second on stage 47, which is pretty decent. That gives you an idea of the damage she can do. So she will be able to do Proxima 80 plus without too much problems with a good build. I think that's where a good combat character should be standing, in my opinion. So her damage is pretty solid if you play her properly, especially against Proxima. If you get it while you have your cumulative damage in your buff from your cumulative damage from your tier 3 skill, that's going to be doing a lot of freaking damage. So overall, she is a very, very, very solid character. Just for example, with the similar team, Apocalypse was doing about stage, I think it was 41 or 42. It was doing that in about 3 minutes, and we all know Apocalypse is a very strong tier 3. So we gotta wait for live to actually the most honest testing. But guys, as soon as the update drop live after you know, in how long? It's in about 10 hours from now I'm recording this video. We're gonna be doing her as our first video for this for this content, guys. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of her. If you are satisfied, dissatisfied, your feedback, comment, whatever, guys. We got a comment section down below. Use it as much as you can, and I will get back to you as soon as I can, guys. Anyway, thanks you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure to drop a like on this video. And on that, guys, I will see you next time.